welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bookish things. How are you all? Almost the end of May as I'm recording this. I think it's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK, so I think it's the 26th of May. Only about 6 weeks until I retire. I can't wait. I actually really don't dislike my job, but I'm done. Do you know? I'm done. I've worked since I was 11. It's a long time. I've had enough. But anyway, I wanted to come on today and just give you a little haul, really, of books that I've had in the last week and a bit. And so that's what I'm going to do. So before we do that, how are you? Are you all right? Are you enjoying the beautiful weather? I don't know what it's like around the world, but in the UK, it's been very, very sunny. It's always a bit of a worry when it's sunny this early in this year because, you know, you worry what it's going to be like when the actual summer comes. It's actually been really warm. It's a bit overcast today, but it's still quite warm. There's a nice breeze, but you're always a bit of a worry because, you know, the British weather is, you know, temperamental, to say the least. This week is half term for the schools as well. It's spring bank holiday week, and so there's going to be quite a lot of rain on and off this week, I reckon, because that's what usually happens when the kids are off, which is a shame, isn't it? But anyway, let's get on. Oh, turn my chair on. Anyway, I've had a really nice long weekend. It's been really relaxing. I haven't really done a lot. Went to the opticians on Friday and ordered some new glasses because it's about time that I did, because I've had these about 3 years and I'm starting to get really blurry vision again, so I needed them tested and it has changed. Actually, turns out these were too strong and that's why I've been getting lots of headaches. I've actually also blown my eye, so my eye's got a massive, great big bleed in it. But it's okay. It's not hurting. It's just very annoying. So there you go. But so to tell you what I've had. Firstly, I went. Oh, chair, would you behave yourself? That's the hot and cold. This is a cinema chair I'm in, and so it's got like holders for cups. So that noise is when it heats up to keep your drink warm, and then there's like upwards, downwards, and then there's a light that turns it into kind of a spaceship. It's fabulous. But anyway, on Friday when I went down to the opticians, I have a lovely indie bookshop in Tiverton that's called Lisnajan. It's run by a mother and daughter, and when my husband was alive, we used to go quite regularly, at least every other week on a Friday, and we go in there and have a coffee. They do the most beautiful, it's all vegan, and they do the most gorgeous lattes, but their cakes, oh my, their Biscoff cheesecake, and I'm not a fan of cheesecake, but it is melt in the mouth gorgeous. Anyway, I didn't really have time to sit and have a coffee, so I got a takeaway coffee. But I had to buy a book because I can't go in and not buy a book. I mean, that's just rude, right? Isn't it? And I'm really enjoying at the moment a lot of Korean, Japanese, translated fiction. I recently read like Bat Eater, which I really, really loved. I think that was Chinese, but I really, really loved that. The Eyes are the Best Part, I think that was also a translation. And I've just finished Butter, which I know is a controversial book on BookTok, BookTube, Bookstagram, everywhere. People either really love it or they really hate it. I actually fall on the side that I liked it a lot. I think it's because you go into it thinking it's about a journalist who wants to interview someone who's potentially a female serial killer, who kind of ingratiated herself with men by cooking them beautiful, delicious meals, and then the three of them died. It's actually not to do with that. That is in there, but I defy anybody to read it and not feel hungry. There's some wonderful recipes in there, but it's really a treatise on misogyny and fat phobia and the pressure on women and men within Japanese culture to maintain a certain physical appearance and mental acuity. And it's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. It probably could have done with being about 100 pages less, but I enjoyed it. So I've been really enjoying a lot of that Korean, Japanese fiction. And so I picked up this one at the bookshop. Welcome to the Hunam Dong Bookshop. And this is about a woman who, she did everything she was supposed to. She went to university. She was going to marry a decent man, get a respectable job, and it all fell apart. And so she decides to open a bookshop. Anything with books in is going to be something I'm going to pick up. And I find a lot of these translated fictions, especially the Japanese and Korean ones, they tend to be very gentle. Like When the Coffee Gets Cold, and if any of you have read those, but there's a kind of, they're quite sad, and there's a lot of pathos and heartbreak in them, but they're actually a very gentle read, and a lot of what I read is quite horrific horror. So they're kind of like a palate cleanse, and they tend to be quite profound, quite moving. There's always an underlying message, of kind of love and redemption and found family, and so I thought, why not give it a go. I could have got this obviously a lot cheaper from somewhere else, because you don't pay full price, but gotta support your local indies, otherwise we lose them, don't we, my darlings? But yeah, so that was my first purchase. I bought it that Friday. And then I had pre-ordered in advance from Black Crow Publishing, the Stephen Graham Jones Buffalo Hunter. And I think I must have been in the second lot of people, because quite a lot of people got this a few weeks ago. I only got this on Friday. It came Friday while I was out. So I must be on the second lot of pre-orders. It's a lot like Stephen Graham Jones. It's based in native culture, Native American culture. It says a blood-soaked, unflinching saga of the violence of colonial America. A revenge story like no other, and the chilling reinvention of vampire lore from the master of horror. This is beautiful. It's signed, obviously, inside. And I'll show you the edges, which are beautiful. So gorgeous. I love Stephen Graham Jones. He's another author that can be quite contentious, I think. People either really, really love him, or you really don't get it. My Heart is a Chainsaw and his trilogy. People either really love his writing style or they don't. I love it. It's very, very descriptive, and I love descriptive prose. And so I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, gorgeous cover too, isn't it? And then on, I think it was Wednesday last week, I had pre-ordered from Lee Kenny, who's one of my lovely indie horror author friends, her new book, which is a trilogy. I'm going to shout at you in a minute. Which is a trilogy of new urban legends by her, Nick Roberts and Dan Franklin, which is called Urban Legends, 3 New Tales of Terror. And they're really good, these ones. This is signed by all 3 of them. So, which is excellent. And there's 3 stories in here. I think there's 3. Lee's is first, Knock on Wood, which is like a bogeyman kind of. I don't want to give too much away because they're so good, but like a bogeyman kind of tale, which is really freaky and will make you listen for any knocks in your house. Is really creepy. Then Dan's one, I can't remember what they're called. Oh, Nesting. If you have children and you're nursing, you probably shouldn't read that one. It's really quite horrific and disturbing. Not in the way you expect, right? And then Poltergeist Password is by Nick Roberts. And that is a really unique way of telling a tale, in the fact that it's like a transcript of basically this podcast that decided to prove poltergeists were real. And it's a transcript of their last live broadcast, right? And when they all disappeared. So, yeah, it's excellent. I have read them. I ARC read this and I loved it, but I wanted a copy. So Elise sent me that. She also sent me loads of little bits with it. So obviously the Books of Horror, I think that's a sticker. Yeah, and there's a picture of Lee with Nick Roberts. I think this is a sticker too. I think these are all stickers. I don't know. There's a lovely glittery one on the front cover, which is all holographic. This is Lee's logo, which is really good. If you haven't read anything from Lee, by the way, Cursed is fantastic. It's like The Ring on acid. And Hush My Darling is just sensational. And you should definitely read them all. A little ghosty with a lollipop. I love ghosts, as everybody who knows me. A really quite horrific Uji. a devil. I love cats too. I'm a mad cat lady. Cat, sparkly cat. A bookmark. Oh, I love a bookmark. That's Hush, My Darling, by the way. That's that book. And then her first book, Cursed, is about a cursed box. So that's really funny. It says, say no to strangers. And then Lee also threw in an additional book plate. I think all of her stuff, all of her books, I've already got signed. Because I've either bought them directly from her, or I think the last one I bought when we did the Birmingham Indie Horror chapter. So those were the three that came separately. And then I also, my friend Amelia said to me, she'd found this, talking about Korean and Japanese fiction, she'd found this bookshop on Instagram, BookTok, Instagram possibly, both, called the Hanamushi Cat Bookshop. This is what got stuck on it. And I went on there and they sell brand new or second-hand translated fiction. And the other second-hand are cheaper, the new ones are more expensive. It's a small business run by a lovely lady called Anna. So I ordered a few. Just can't help myself, right? So she also sent, oh, look, this is what you get, you know, when you order directly either from an author or a small business. They put such detail and care into what they send you. You know what I mean? It just elevates the whole experience of buying something. So there's two very strange stickers. Hanamushi Bookshop bookmark, which says, Tales to Chase, Magic to Find. So that goes, I love their logo is beautiful. There's a lovely art print. This is from the V&A. It's Details from the 11th Moon by Utagawa Kunisada. And then a lovely little note saying thank you. So pretty, look at little deers on this. Anyway, so those all came with it. But the books I ordered, Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zorna. And she's actually from an indie band. I think she's Japanese. Is it Japanese? Yeah, called Japanese Breakfast. And this is, you know, her story, so autobiography basically. So I've had my eye on this for a while, but I thought, well, why not? And this is normally, these are, you know, translation fiction is normally quite expensive. So this book is normally like a 10 quid. And I think this is brand new. And I think I paid £7 for it. So there's that one. Then I really, really love Japanese short stories, short horror stories. They're really quite disturbing. And they very rarely have a happy ending, which I love, you know, because in real life, that's what would happen. This is also brand new. And it's The Snow Woman and other yokai stories from Japan. I suspect my pronunciation is horrific. I don't speak Japanese, but this is like a collection of stories. And what I didn't realise is it's all illustrated with like block print all the way through. So it's just really, I'm really looking forward to reading this. Clumsy encounters between Kappa and humans. The clog ghost and the boot ghost. I mean, it's just fabulous. And it's like woodcut. Do you know what I mean? Woodcut prints all the way through. So I'm really looking forward to that. I love having a short story collection on the go while I'm reading other stuff. And then I bought this one, Murakami Underground, and this is about the Tokyo gas attack, and which happened many years ago now. I'm not quite sure when. It's basically a true crime. Yeah. And how it affected the Japanese psyche. You know what I mean? It was a really horrific thing that happened, actually. A lot of people were very badly injured and a lot of people died. So this is a true crime, but I just love the cover. I love this symmetry. Their covers are always beautiful. And then this one, this is secondhand. And this one is a little bit bashed, but I'm not worried about a secondhand book. I'm happy to see a book look read. I mean, I'll break spines. I know it's controversial, but it's my bloody book. If I want to break the spine, I'm going to break it to make it more comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I like a book that's been read. This is Goth by Hotsushi, maybe. So anyone's Japanese, please tell me. And this sounds fantastic. Marino is the strangest girl in school. How could she not, given her obsession with brutal murders? and there are plenty of them to grow obsessed with, as the town in which she lives is a magnet for serial killers. I mean, doesn't that sound fantastic? Also, you can take the girl out the goth, you can't take the goth out the girl, so the title drew me in and I just loved the cover. So there's those 4, and then I decided I'd get a couple of graphic novels. I'm not a big fan of graphic novels, mainly because when I read, I see like a movie in my head as I'm reading. So if I'm reading something that's already got pictures, it can get a little bit confusing, right? Because it might not be what I'm imagining when I'm reading it. So it can be a bit confusing in my brain, more so than usual. But I do love Japanese graphic novels, especially the horror ones. They're just exceptional. I bought this one purely for the cover. Isn't that fantastic? Look at her eyes. Oh my God. Oh, I love it. So, Be Very Afraid of Kaneko Inuki. I just love the cover. And like all of these Japanese ones, you start from the back and work forward, which always confused me to death the first time I picked up a Junji Ito. But, yes, I'm really looking forward to that. Just the cover's fantastic. And it is 6 hair-raising stories selected for this collection, featuring an array of unnerving characters and scenarios. It's horror. Queen of horror manga. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Never heard of this author, so I'm looking forward to that. And then they had a Junji Ito, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Junji Ito, that I've been looking for ages. Now, everybody always, enthuses about Dracula. Now, I love the story of Dracula, right? But if I had to choose one classic Gothic novel, it would be Frankenstein. It's just a better story. I'm sorry. Sorry, but it is, And I love Mary Shelley. So many people say, oh, Jules Verne started. No, she started it. She was 17 years old. Gothic horror didn't exist before her. Woman is exceptional anyway. Junji Ito did a story collection, and one of the stories, the main story in it, was his take of Frankenstein. And they had it. This is a brand new copy. I think it cost me 12 quid instead of normally what is 20 quid. It's in brand new condition. Junji Ito meets Mary Shelley. And I just look at this. Wow. I mean, their work is just exceptional. There's also, I think there's more than one tale. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's Frankenstein plus 10 other stories in here. Again, you read from back to front, which, for my autistic brain is a little bit difficult, but I was so excited to get this. And this was the first one I picked up, and then I thought, well, while I'm here, why not? You know what I mean? But anyway, so that's my little haul of books I've got in the last few weeks. And even though this year I'm trying very hard not to buy as many, I'm being more picky about what I buy. But it's very difficult, isn't it? And when my sister comes down in July, we're going to get rid of the table in the corner, which frankly I only used to dump stuff on. And then we're going to put a couple more bookcases in, so I'll have more room. Don't necessarily a good thing. But, yeah, it's not... I mean, compared to a lot of people, I've probably got up to 5,000 books in my house. There's more book than brick, honestly. But out of those, there's probably, I don't know, maybe 100 I haven't read. The rest of them I've read. And I've just unhauled about 200. So I do read everything I have. I don't just buy them for the sake of it. So, anyway, my loves, that's me done. I hope whatever you're doing this weekend, you have a lovely weekend. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.